Hey, what's up? I want you to imagine something that tomorrow morning you wake up and everything in your reselling business is gone. I mean, like your eBay account, the inventory, maybe your whatnot following, the contacts, all of it. You have a completely clean slate and the only thing you have left is what's inside your wallet. Could you build everything back, and what would you do differently? Well, look, I've been doing this a long time, and I actually think about this stuff, not because I'm worried, but because it forces me to strip away everything that isn't essential and just ask this simple question: what actually works? And you know what? I have a very clear answer for you. Today, I'm gonna walk you through exactly what I would do to ramp up a brand new reselling business in 2026, step by step. So if you're brand new to reselling, this could be a roadmap. If you've been doing this a while, this could be a reset button. Either way, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what I would do from beginning to end. Oh, and at the very end, I'm gonna show you some math that might genuinely change the way you think about this entire thing. Ready to go? Let's dive in. Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Ty Wilson. I host a show called Chasing Cardboard here on YouTube, and I run a pretty large reselling business, and I have for the last 20 years. The first thing that I would do before you spend a single dollar, before you list a single thing, is you have to figure out what you want to flip. And I don't mean in a vague, follow your passion way. I mean this very practically. There's a framework that some people talk about. It's called the Ikigai. It's a Japanese concept with 4 overlapping circles, and I think the way it works maps pretty well to reselling. Here's how you do it. Circle 1 is, what do you actually know something about? So think about that. Is it sports cars? Is it sneakers? Is it vintage? Is it clothing, toys, records? Whatever it is, you want a category that you can walk into and not get eaten alive by someone who's been doing this for 10 years. Circle number 2 is, what can you actually source in your area? This matters more than people think. You know, if you're in a city with 30 estate sales every weekend, that's different than being in a distant rural area where you're mostly working Facebook Marketplace leads and maybe just random garage sales. Circle number 3 is, what does demand actually look like? I mean, what are people actively searching for and buying? And it's really not hard to do. You can go look at eBay completed listings and you'll get a vibe pretty quickly in about 30 seconds. Circle number 4 is, what can you realistically fund? You know, $100 will get you into low-end sports cars, maybe some small lots, common toys. That's fine. That's the starting point, not the finish line. But you got to understand what you can spend. So what you do is you fill out all 4 of those circles. In the center of that, that's your lane. It's a great exercise that you can do in 10 minutes. But here's a pro tip. Don't try to figure this all out in your head. Open up ChatGPT or Claude and say, hey, I want to start reselling. Ask me one question at a time to help me figure out my niche. You know, I prefer the Ikigai approach, so please use that methodology. It's pretty amazing because it's gonna walk you through your own blind spots. It'll push back on some weak answers. And by the time you're done, you'll have more clarity than most people who've been reselling for months. My lane when I started was sports cars because I knew them, because I had access to collections, and because I could see that the demand was real. And for me, that was personal. Find your version of that. Okay, step number 2, and this is where people get it backwards. They think, I need to have a ton of money to buy inventory. And yes, that's eventually true, but here's what most people don't realize. Your first inventory when you're building a business should cost you almost nothing, or actually nothing. When I say I'd start over with $0, this is the step that makes it possible. But I want to be upfront about something right here. At this stage, you are not thinking about your return on time. I know some of you think about free inventory and you're already doing the math in your head and you're thinking, is this worth it per hour? Stop. That's not the question right now. The question is, can you build a base? You are laying a foundation the first few weeks. You are getting the reps in. You're building the skills, the feedback score, the buyer relationships, and the market knowledge that will make every future dollar you invest work a lot harder for you. You can't buy that. You have to earn it, and this is how you earn it. So here's exactly what I would do. First, I'd go to Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist and I would search sports card lot or whatever your inventory is going to be, or card collection. Not to buy, just to look. See what's been sitting there for weeks with no offers. Those sellers are motivated. They want it gone. That's leverage for you. So message them, ask questions, make a low offer. The worst they can say is no. Second, and this is the move nobody talks about, I take out a free ad. Not a paid ad, a free one. Post it in local Facebook groups. Maybe you're looking to buy sports card collections. Maybe you're looking to pick up unwanted inventory. You'll pay cash, fast pickup, whatever it may be. That's it. I've seen people get 2 or 3 leads from the same day on a single post. People have stuff sitting in closets or garages that they've been meaning to get out of their house for 5 years. You just have to ask and show up. Third, this one sounds old school because it is. I'd print a simple flyer. Black and white, half a page, buying sports card collections, cash paid, fast and easy. Go put that up at a coffee shop, the barber shop, a comic store, the card shop, bulletin board if they have one. Some of the best collections I've ever bought came from 40-cent pieces of paper on a bulletin board. You can spend 50 cents on printing and get a $100 collection. Easy. Now, if you actually have a little bit of money, you could take out a small classified ad in a local newspaper, penny saver, whatever you have locally, because this is deeply underutilized right now. Most resellers don't do it because it feels old-fashioned. That's exactly why you should do it. The people with real collections, estates, longtime collectors that are downsizing, they still read those ads. I've been preaching this for years, I really have. And my top collection buys have still come from newspaper ads. In fact, early on in the Chasing Cardboard days, Matt and I would print ads in newspapers 3 to 4 weeks out before we headed into that specific city, and we got some of the greatest leads from those $40 ads. It's incredible. Take advantage of that. Fourth, go talk to your local card shop. I mean, seriously, most shops have bulk that they would love to move. Commons, junk wax, mid-tier stuff that just sits. Offer to take it off their hands at a fair price, and some shops will practically give it away to you. You become a resource for them, and they become a resource for you. That relationship pays dividends for years. Fifth thing to think about would be consignment. Just go find a collector in your area who has cards they want to sell, but they don't want to deal with the hassle. You make a deal, you go sell them on eBay for them or whatnot. You split the proceeds at $0 out of your pocket. This is genuinely what I would go do if I had nothing to start with. It's so easy. Find one motivated collector, make them a fair deal, execute flawlessly, and you've got a partner and proof that you can do this. In these situations, you are not looking for perfect inventory. You are looking for your first deal. Box of commons, a small lot or collection, someone's grandkid who doesn't want their stuff anymore. That is enough to start. Remember, at stage 2, it's about building a base. It's not about maximizing profit. The profit will come later once you know what you're doing. Right now, you're just putting the reps in. Step number 3 is you need 2 places to sell. Not 1, 2. 3 to 4 years ago, I would have said, only focus on eBay. Just go crush that marketplace. But in 2026, I really believe you need 2 outlets to maintain the volume necessary. Channel 1, I think it's got to be eBay. This is your foundation because you got consistent, searchable buyers coming to you. The goal in the first month on eBay is to list 25 to 50 items. That's it. You don't have to boil the ocean and sell everything at once. 25 to 50 done with precision. Here's the exact cadence I would run. I would list 5 items a day, 5 to 10 days straight. That's it. You're probably asking why 5 a day instead of 50 in one setting? Well, because a couple reasons. 1, eBay's algorithm rewards consistent activity. Fresh listings get a boost. And honestly, listing 50 items in one marathon session is how you make mistakes and you burn out. More importantly, early on, you want to force yourself into a rhythm. Setting aside a 20 or 30-minute block to get your listings done every day is a great way to stay in touch. Plus, 5 a day is manageable. 5 a day is sustainable. 5 a day means after 10 days, you have 50 live listings quietly working for you while you sleep. All right, the second channel is a live selling platform. Probably Whatnot, but it can be really any of them. And your goal here is to get your first 5 shows done. And you're gonna run these shows with really about 25 to 30 items. That's it. Here's why. You're not trying to make $1,000 on your first show. You're doing this to build reps. You're learning the platform. You're getting comfortable on camera. You're building the habit of going live and figuring out really what your audience responds to. 20 to 30 items means you could actually focus on each one. You can tell a story. You can interact with the chat. That's how you build buyers. I would also make sure when you go live the first time, have all 5 of your shows scheduled. You can promote the other shows in each of the lives. Maybe even dangle a goodie coming up in one of the upcoming streams. 5 shows, 20 to 30 cards, get the reps in. After 5 shows, you'll have a feel for the platform, a small list of buyers who showed up, and you'll have some actual data on what actually sells. That's worth more than any inventory you could have bought. Okay, step number 4 is about selling. And I want to reframe the way you think about it. Most new sellers think selling is about having the best stuff. It's not. Selling is about building trust fast. There's a popular salesman named Zig Ziglar. He said, if people like you, they'll listen to you. But if they trust you, they'll do business with you. That's the entire game right there. On Whatnot, people buy from you before they buy your specific inventory. The person who shows up consistently, knows their cards, is honest about condition, and treats buyers like they're humans, they will outsell the person with better inventory every single time. I guarantee it. On eBay, selling is about clarity. Clear photos, honest description, fast shipping. That is 99% of the game. The resellers who struggle on eBay are always the ones with fuzzy descriptions and photos and just vague overall listings. Here's a very practical move. Once you got a feel for your niche, go look at the top sellers in your category. Look at them on eBay, look at them on Whatnot. Not to copy them, but to learn how they present. What do their titles look like? How do they describe condition? What type of photos do they take? That is your curriculum, and it's free. It's sitting right there for you. And here's another pro tip for Whatnot specifically. Go watch 3 shows from sellers in your niche. How do they start their show? How do they handle slow moments? What do they do when nobody's bidding? You're doing research. It's not necessarily entertainment, so watch it like a student. The best resellers I know are not the loudest guys in the room. They're the ones who just know their stuff. They present it cleanly, and they make every buyer feel like they got a really fair deal. That reputation compounds really fast. Step number 5, and this one I want you to really hear. Once those first sales start coming in, your only job is to make every single buyer feel like they just found their new favorite seller. That's it. That's your goal. Not a good relationship, not a good seller, but their favorite seller. Here's what that looks like in practice. Pack every item like your business depended on it, because right now it does. Top loader, team bag, sleeve, bubble mailer, bubble wrap. That card should not move. That card should arrive looking exactly like it left your hands every single time. Maybe even throw something in extra, a duplicate they might like, a fun parallel. It costs you almost nothing, and it makes a massive impression. People remember the seller who gave them more than they expected. What you could also do is write a little thank you note, handwritten if you can, even just a few words. Hey, thanks for the order. Hope you love it. Come find me on Whatnot. That's it. A 3-cent piece of paper and 30 seconds of your time in a world of automated fulfillment and faceless transactions. A handwritten note makes you unforgettable. You are not manufacturing margin right now. You are manufacturing repeat buyers, and that distinction is everything. Here's why this matters so much more than people realize. Studies show that repeat customers spend on average 67% more per purchase than new customers. 67%. And acquiring a new customer costs 5 times more than keeping an existing one. You do the math. In fact, let me show you something. I built a platform called ResellPulse specifically for resellers like us. And one of the things it tracks is the actual lifetime value of your repeat customers. Look at this dashboard view. It shows you exactly who your repeat customers are, how much they've spent over time, how often they come back, and what they tend to buy. Look at mine from the past year. How crazy is that? That number right there, that's not new customers. That's the same people coming back again and again because of how I treated them from the very first order. Every package you send is an investment in that number. Every thank you note, every extra card, every ship the same day notification. If you're serious about building a reselling business, and I mean a real business, not just a side hustle, you should do all of that what I just said, and you should also go sign up for ResellPulse. It's a platform that's really built for hardcore resellers. It shows you the numbers that actually matter. Link is in the description below. Before you sign up, ship the thank you note and add the extras and pack it right. Build those repeat buyers from day one. That compounding effect will be the most valuable thing in your business. Okay, step number 6, and this is the whole thing. You just gotta go. Don't wait until you have the perfect inventory. Don't wait until you know everything about grading. Don't wait until your eBay store looks clean or your camera setup is dialed in and you've watched enough YouTube videos. Warren Buffett said once that someone's sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. The resellers winning 5 years from now, they started today. They started messy. They started small. Every reseller that I know who's actually built something started before they were actually ready. I mean, look, I've made very expensive mistakes. I have bought collections that I overpaid for. I ran whatnot shows where nobody showed up. I listed items wrong. I shipped things in bad packaging, all of it. None of that killed the business. Waiting would have. Here's what the plan actually looks like in the first 30 days. Week 1, identify your niche. Post your buying collections ads, get on Facebook Marketplace, put up your flyers, just start looking. Week 2, get your first inventory. Go spend your first $100 or find someone willing to consign their cards to you with a fair split. Get something in your hands by week 2. Week 3, list 5 cards a day on eBay. Run your first whatnot show with 20 cards. See what happens. Week 4, ship everything perfectly. Read your feedback, figure out what sold and what didn't, and reinvest every single dollar. That's a month. That's the whole plan. Now, here's the math that I promised you at the beginning because I think this will actually help you think about what's possible. So let's say you start with $100, conservative, ultra conservative, and you flip it into cards, small lots, whatever your niche is. And let's say by the end of the month, you've done $500 in sales. That is not a crazy thought. That's 5 listings a day on eBay. That's 5 whatnot shows with 20 cars each. Done right, it's really possible. Now let's say your margin is just 40%. Again, conservative, especially once you get better at sourcing. That's $200 in profit on $500 in sales. You started with $100. You now have $300 to work with. Month 2, you now have $300 in working capital. You're sharper now. You're better at spotting deals. You're better at pricing. Sales climb maybe this month to around $700. 40% margin again, right? So that's $280 in profit in month 2. You now have $580 to reinvest in month 3. $580 to work with. This month, you're gonna push past $1,000 in sales for the first time. With 40% margin, that's $400 in profit. You've got nearly $1,000 working for you. And here's where it starts to feel a little different. Your whatnot audience is starting to come back. Your eBay buyers are watching your store. Your repeat buyers are multiplying. That flywheel is really starting to turn. Month 4, 5, and 6, you are really starting to compound. I mean, working capital's growing, sales are growing, margins are holding or improving as your sourcing gets better. And by month 6, most resellers who've worked this system are doing $1,500 to $2,000 a month in sales. At 40% margin, that's $600 to $800 a month in profit. That's starting from $100 and a stack of flyers at a coffee shop. 100, 300, 580, 1,000, the compounding continues to grow. The math really isn't magic. It's just compounding. It's consistent reinvestment plus a margin that you actually track. The only version of this that doesn't work is the one where you don't start. Okay, step number 7. And this one isn't about any reselling playbook that you've ever read, but I'd argue it might be the most important one on this list. Document everything. And I don't mean like go keep receipts. I mean, put it on camera. Your first thrift store haul, your first whatnot show, the box of junk that you paid $40 for that turned into $300, the one that didn't turn out so well. Maybe the moment you figured out your niche, the moment you almost quit your job. I mean, all of it. When you document your journey, even just for yourself, something interesting happens. You can't lie to yourself anymore. You said on camera last week that you were going to list 25 cards. Did you? The camera knows. Your audience knows. You know. That accountability is worth more than any productivity app you'll ever download. But here's the thing. Documenting it in public, even in a small way, it just does something else to you. It builds a customer before you ever sell them a card. Because look, again, people don't just buy cards or inventory. They buy from people they like and trust. And if someone watched you go from $100 starting point to $1,000, they're rooting for you. They want to be part of your story. They will buy from you because they feel like they know you, because they literally watched you build this thing from nothing. That's what Chasing Cardboard is for me. That's what this channel is. It's not just content, it's a relationship infrastructure. It compounds the same way money does. And here's the best part. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need to know how to edit. You don't need to have any of that stuff really figured out. The most powerful content in this space right now is not polished. It's just real. People are drowning in slick production. What they actually want is to watch a real person figure out all of this stuff in real time. You can use your phone, a selfie stick if you want to be fancy. One sentence at the start of every Whatnot show. Week 3 of starting over with $100. Let's see what happens tonight. That's a series. That's a story. There's a community waiting to see that happen. Document the wins, document the losses, document the weird $100 collection that you bought at a garage sale that had one card worth $300 in it. That happens, by the way. Be the person who shows their work. Because in a world full of highlight reels, someone who actually shows the process, that is very, very rare. And rare is valuable. Plus, if you document it all, and then you make a video called I started with $100, here's what happened 6 months later, that's a video that I would watch, and it kind of writes itself. Document everything. Okay, quick recap. Here's your 7 steps. 1, find your niche using the 4 circles. Use AI to help you get there faster. Step 2, go find inventory before you spend money. Use free ads, local posts, flyers, newspapers, consignment, whatever you got. Show it before you have anything to actually sell. Don't worry about ROI yet. At that stage, just build the base. Number 3, list 5 items a day on eBay for 5 to 10 straight days. Run 5 Whatnot shows with 20 to 30 cards each. Build reps, not revenue. Step 4, learn to sell by studying the best in your category. On eBay, clarity wins. On Whatnot, trust wins. Step 5, go above and beyond for every buyer. Thank you note, extra cards, pack it right. You're building repeat customers, and repeat customers are worth everything. Step 6, go. Like right now. Not when you're ready, right now. The math is on your side if you just start. And step 7, document everything. Your phone is your studio. Your journey is the content. Your audience is waiting. They just don't know it yet. If you want to track all of this as you build your real margins, your repeat buyer value, your collection profit and loss, that's exactly what I built ResellPulse for. It's the tool I wish I had when I was starting. Really, it's the tool I wish I had about 2 years ago when I was going crazy. The link is in the description. It's well worth the few bucks a month to make that tool work for you. Oh, and if you want a community of serious resellers doing this at a very high level, the Reseller Recharge link is in the description below as well. That's it. You did it. There's my steps. What's the first move that you're making today? Not tomorrow, today. I'd love to know in the comments below. See you in the next one.